We gotta talk about John's favorite player,
Oh,
Luka Doncic, and also
okay.
John's favorite player, Kyrie Irving. Tim Hardaway Sr., father of Luka's current teammate, Tim Hardaway Jr.,
Yeah.
has criticized Luka and Kyrie for saying they are not leaders. That is why the team is not doing as well as it should be. John, I'm gonna start with you. What do you think? What do you think about that comment? Does he have a point? Does he not have a point? Is it just out of frustration as a parent of a player? What do you think?
He says that Jalen Brunson is a real leader, and maybe he is. Maybe we'll find out that Jalen Brunson's some great down the road. I mean, he's showing obviously a lot of potential already, but still he's not the current leader of his own team yet. But he could turn into that guy. Um, I'm gonna give Dallas one more excuse. This is my last one. I'm gonna give him one more out though. Because here's the thing: a lot of the great big threes or big twos or whatever we've seen the last decade or so, they did not mesh. LeBron and his crew, Wade and them, it took them 20, 30 games to get going. It took him and Kyrie and Love 20, 30 games to get going. It took the Celtics a little while to get going. It took so you had Kyrie and Doncic trying to mesh over 15 games, and like that's just not a lot of time for them to mesh. It actually threw off the rhythm of the team. The team was, I believe, a 6 seed or 7 seed when he came there.
Mm-hmm.
But I still didn't like what they did tonight. I didn't like that they sat the starters and said they pulled the plug on the season. I didn't like that. Like leave it up to chance, man. Like if Thunder go out and win tomorrow, then fine. You sit them the last game of the season, but man, you go out and play. You play to win the game. Like that's a it's a great the famous quote. So I just didn't like what they did tonight. I like to think that he's kind of correct in that. Maybe real leaders say, "Bro, we're doing it. Like we're going out there and playing." But I also didn't like that they shut down Christian Wood so early. He was one of their best offensive threats all season. The
I
second
agree.
Kyrie gets there, or even before Kyrie got there, they pretty much shut down Christian Wood. Saw a game the other day where he was like 3 for 3 over like 6 minutes, and they didn't play the rest of the game. And I'm sitting there like, what's going on? Like I don't understand. I'm not really sure. Jason Kidd's got some questions to answer, so I'm not blaming anyone yet. I blame Kid a little bit. But I just think that Kyrie and Luca didn't mesh right away, and that happens, man. It happens all the time. So I'm gonna give him one last excuse, but this is the last one, man. I really am done. I'm done making excuses for this couple.
Yeah. Um, for the first time in a long time, maybe ever, I agree with you 100%. You know, Jalen Bronson, he has left, and the team he went to is now in the playoffs.
Yeah,
The team he left isn't. It's as simple as that. Now, does New York have more around him than Dallas? You could say that. Do they have a bigger name in New York than they do in Dallas?
no,
No. But, they just have a better team. That's what it comes down to, better team. But I think, in this case, it's almost like a starting receiver or a starting tight end being traded mid-season. Yeah, you're not going to look that productive because you don't really have chemistry. Let's see what an offseason looks like. Now, in Kyrie case, he's a free agent, correct? Or
yeah,
something like, yeah. So, maybe Cuban gives him one of those 2-year deals just to see how it works after 2 years. And then if it ain't doing what it's supposed to, it's 2 years and you're done. See if somebody else will resign you. But I think that's really what it comes down to because basketball is a little different than football, but it's actually the same. You need chemistry. That's something they don't have. Two very ball dominant players. and a team of, I ain't gonna call them nobodies, but a team of of a good support system if you learn how to use them the right way.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem. I think it is what it is in Dallas. I'm just happy I'm not Cuban or whoever the general manager is to have to make that decision, because you don't. Kyrie Irving is not, a player to his caliber is not available every year. But at the same time, let's say hypothetically you do sign him again and you start the season 5-15, because you do have you can't defend. Kyrie has never been known as a defender, neither is Luca. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it goes going forward. That's I think that's the best way to put it. You just gonna have to give him a 2-year deal. Hopefully, you can bring in some other people to help surround them with more talent and go from there.
Yeah, I don't think Kyrie's ever been accused of being a leader. And I'm not saying he hasn't had moments where he showed potential as a lead, but he's a spark plug. He comes, he doesn't come off the bench. He starts, but he's a Jamal Crawford. He can come out. He can all of a sudden he'll be 0 for 6, and then boom, boom, boom. He'll hit 4 straight for you at big times of the game. He hits big shots late. He can do that kind of stuff. So I think the pressure is more on Luka to be the leader. I mean, it is his team, so he's got to show that he is the leader. But I just didn't like all the shakeups that Jason Kidd did. With I don't know. I didn't like the way they played Christian Wood. Maybe it's my personal opinion. Who knows? We'll see. But maybe they did the right move. But yeah, I agree. I think I think Kyrie's did not put on paper, score wise, sure, he scored a lot of points, but the win column, he did not put on paper anything that would make a championship caliber team be like, yeah, we got to go get that guy. I think his best option is to try to sign an extension down there in Dallas.